Twisted, pain-racked human forms litter the land of Custodia. The impaled line the roads. Oceans of bodies piled high. The drowned, the burned, the disemboweled. They got off easy. What walks the roads and stalks the woods, what crawls amongst the bones of this ruined land, are truly pitiable. Burdened and broken, disfigured and maimed, hordes of flagellants seeking greater punishment still, even those already dead can find no respite here. All life writhes and squirms under this divine influence, irrevocably touched by it. But why? Who can say? For twisted is the path of the miracle. A divine will has blessed Custodia with a grievous miracle, which has externalized the sin of man. At least I think that's what happened. All these children of Dark Souls don't make it easy to follow the actual stories. I'm pretty sure, though. Like, 70%. The gruesome and hideous mutations of the inhabitants merely lay bare the truth within their hearts. Something like that. Then again, it's pretty inconsistent, and there are a lot of individual instances where I couldn't begin to guess what the symbolism's supposed to be, so maybe that theory needs work. Frankly, I don't fully understand the events of this game, and I'm not going to pretend to. One playthrough just isn't enough to decipher it. Neither do I quite grasp the nature of its religious elements. The game is awash in Roman Catholic iconography and themes, but I'm far from an expert on that. What I do understand is that Blasphemous depicts one of the most evocative game worlds I have ever seen, and I say this without a hint of hyperbole. The warped, bizarre creatures and the harsh Gothic landscapes are so finely detailed and fantastically rendered. Extremely high-quality pixel art sprites and backgrounds animated with such style and personality. Heavy, brooding, ambient music that carries the dreadful tone effortlessly. The writing, too, is consistently unsettling between the actual dialogue and item descriptions. Frequently ghoulish or tragic, but perfectly in line with the world as we're coming to understand it. Or in every corner, some new abomination, haphazard arrangement of flesh and bone. Yet to look at them, it couldn't be said that they're truly random. They all seem to belie an intent, some divinely inspired joke or poetry, a heaping of irony to last an eternity. It all adds up to something unique and captivating, but there's one detail that has thwarted my attempts to really understand this game. It's how the inhabitants talk about it. We meet many people on our journey, all of whom are cursed, bound, or otherwise afflicted by the miracle, not to mention the countless tales we read about those who have suffered and died by it. But no one, not a single person, ever rejects it. They lament it, sure. They're puzzled by it, but no matter what pain it has caused them, or what it has taken from them, they accept it. I've mulled over what this really means quite a bit. An obvious answer may be that it's intended as an indictment of blind faith, the danger of surrendering to a higher power that doesn't have your best interests at heart. This somehow doesn't seem right. Some contrast would be required to highlight this idea, a counterpoint represented in the game. Besides the penitent one, there isn't really anyone to embody that, and he doesn't talk, so it makes it difficult to ascribe motivation to him. Maybe there's some argument to be made about him representing tacit resistance. I don't know, it seems pretty weak to me. Conversely, it could be an endorsement of faith. Miracle was necessary. This is all for the best eventually. Perhaps one could argue that the state of Custodia is allegorical to our own world and the suffering of those who live in it. I wouldn't, though. Maybe this is a result of my own biases, but I can't accept the torments on display here as benevolent. It might be then that Blasphemous's themes are more exploratory in nature. Less statement, more examination, taking the kernel of an ethos and pushing it to the logical extreme. What a world devoted to atonement through punishment might look like. Taking a step back now, though, reveals something insidious. In attempting to understand what the miracle is and why it happened, I found myself in a similar position to the denizens of Custodia. They and we grasp for meaning to all this. Surely there must be some cause for all this pain. For punishment like this, total and utter, it must be deserved. But is there really anything that could possibly justify all this? Whether you think so or not isn't important. Merely asking the question does all the work. Whether on the transgressions of its people or the cruelty of its god, the mind has already traveled to its darkest corners in search of an answer, and you've fallen neatly into the trap of this game. No matter what conclusions we draw, there's just more misery to be found. The wake of a god mighty and terrible and incomprehensible. God has passed judgment on Custodia and found it wanting, but we cannot understand why. It instills fear born of the unknown, the uncanny, the imagined, and of our own inalienable ignorance. Horror in a literary sense can be broken down into three distinct components. The first, dread, is anticipatory. Anxious. The feeling danger may strike at any moment, but without immediate threat. Terror is next. Shock and panic in the crucial moment. Neither of these are much represented in Blasphemous. It has strong atmosphere but little tension. It may ambush the player on occasion, but the penitent one is strong and an observant player rarely caught off guard. Horror, the third part, is an aftermath. To see with full clarity what has transpired and be left with no alternative but to accept it as reality. It doesn't make you jump or scream, nor does it make you bite your fingernails in a cold sweat. There's no building tension to a fever pitch and cathartic release to follow. It's not the fun kind of fear. It's fear that sits in the pit of your stomach and gnaws at you incessantly. It lingers and nags and won't let go. It can't rise and fall with the flow of action because the worst has already come to pass. And all you can do is attempt to understand what's happened and start picking up the pieces. From a mechanical standpoint, Blasphemous is a competent, if unpolished, Souls-like Metroidvania. The platforming is good, but a little creaky. The combat is simple and varied, but some of the design decisions had me scratching my head, and there's a layer of jank on it that you can never quite escape from. Exploration and traversal are well designed, although I don't know if it's to the game's credit or not that I beat it without finding a major traversal mechanic, I think. Mechanics aside, it is an astonishing melding of world, theme, and tone that stands unsurpassed amongst everything I've ever played. Dark Souls held this spot for me for a long time, and even though I'll continue to love that game more, it will be for personal reasons rather than for singular excellence. Blasphemous is so utterly committed to its central idea, and every NPC, area, item description, enemy design, piece of dialogue, gory animation, all of it serves to reinforce that. It even extends to the Souls-like elements, borrowed as they are. They've been adjusted in some cases to better suit as well, like bloodstains being replaced by guilt. Rather than leaving behind your resources on death, which need to be collected, your guilt will stack up, and if left unresolved, will further burden you moving forward until it is dealt with. It's been close to 2 years now since I played it, so with full retrospect, I can say that it isn't an all-time favorite of mine, in spite of the praise I've been showering it with. There's no accounting for taste, and ultimately, I found it morose and hideous to a point that dampened my enjoyment of it somewhat. But that should not mitigate what an accomplishment it is. The Game Kitchen delivered a world unparalleled in Blasphemous, alongside a distillation of horror we rarely get to see. Challenging in more than one sense, and emotionally exhausting it may be. It's worth experiencing. Highly recommend. Hey, I did another one of these things. Look at me go. It's only been like a year since the Crisis one. Just to clarify, if you're seeing this, this is on. This has been uploaded to my second channel. Wow, look at me go. I thought it would be better to try and like divide up, because the other thing, I do Let's Plays over there. Actually, I did a Let's Play with Blasphemous. If you're curious about that, you can go see what it was like when I first played through the game. It was also really early video stuff for me, so it's not great. But and like the audio is like terrible, but it sucks in new and interesting ways all the way up through like halfway through the series. But anyway, whatever. It does exist if that's something that you're interested in seeing. I was putting all this stuff on that channel, but I thought it'd be a better idea to put the more like edited stuff over here, and I guess this means I'm going to be trying to do this sort of thing a bit more consistently moving forward. We'll see how that goes. Not that I've been able to manage to make the Let's Play stuff all that consistent anyway, but whatever. So the Crisis video is also going to be going up over here soon-ish. I don't want to like dump everything out at the same time, but so that'll be a re-upload just for, you know, keeping everything in the one place. Man, I wonder if I should get around to actually playing Blasphemous 2 at some point. I doubt it'll be a series, but I should probably still play the game, you know? There's just too many damn things, man. It's been really cool, though, seeing the stuff with Game Kitchen recently. They put out that Ninja Gaiden game, which, like... like, wow, good for them, man. That's a big deal, getting to make a game in a long-running series like that with so much history. I get the impression that it probably wouldn't have been like the first pick from amongst the you know, 80s era action platformers that they possibly could have gotten, you know, if they had their first choice. But hey, look, I mean, Ninja Gaiden's still pretty cool, man. So you'll have to see it. And apparently it's good too, so that's great. Yeah, anyway, I kind of got a little off topic there. Hey, so if you want to see more stuff like this, and maybe other sort of equally higher effort-y stuff about the video games, which presumably you have some sort of an interest in if you made it this far, you should subscribe. Just do it. That's a good idea. It means you'll see them if I do more thing. Okay, that's it. See you later.